Hello, welcome to LK Tuition. My name's Lucas and today we're going to be looking at inequality symbols and number lines. Hope you're well and let's get started. Okay, so first of all we're just going to look at the 4 inequality symbols that you'll need to know for GCSE. So the first one is greater than symbol. So this is the symbol here and it means greater than. So for example, 7 is greater than 3. Now the way I remember this is always look at it kind of opens up to the bigger one. If you imagine, so it looks like this, just imagine this is opening up to a bigger number. So it's going small and it's opening up, it's widening to a bigger number. So 7 is more than 3 because it's closing down into a smaller number. Okay, and then the similar one to that is greater than or equal to. So it's exactly the same, but it's got this little extra line there, which means it could be equal to as well. So it might be, I don't know, x is more than or equal to 9. So it could be 10, it could be 11, could be 12, but it could be 9 as well. It could be equal to 9. And then the other one's just the other way around. So this means less than. So it's going the other way. So it's going from smaller to bigger. So for example, 2 is less than 5. And then again, we've got the equals version with that little extra equals line. And that means less than or equal to. Okay, so let's try filling in a few gaps with inequality symbols. Feel free to pause the video and have a crack at this yourself. Otherwise, we'll do it together. Okay, so the first one, we've got 20 is something 28. Okay, well, it's less than, isn't it? 20 is less than 28. So we just want to make sure we've got the inequality symbol going the right way. So that looks okay to me. All right, number 2, we've got minus 8 is something minus 3. Okay, well, even though 8, you think of 8 as being bigger than 3 because it's negative, it's more negative than 3, so it is less than. If you think, you know, minus 8 is colder than minus 3 if it was the temperature. So this is less than again. And now for number 3, we've got 3 numbers, but we're doing exactly the same. We're just going to compare each couple of numbers next to each other. So 70 and 53, well, 70 is more than 53. And 53 is more than 24, so we've got 2 more than symbols there. And then finally, a bit of a trick question, we've got minus 7 and minus 7. Well, it says fill in, you know, you could put equals here, but the question does say fill the blanks below with inequality symbols. Well, there's 2 options we could use. We could definitely use more than or equal to, because it's equal to. And we could also use less than or equal to. So it sounds a bit daft, but, you know, 7 is technically more than or equal to 7. And same with minus 7, any number is more than or equal to or less than or equal to itself, because there's that equal to bit in it. Okay, now let's have a look at some number lines then. So on a number line, you can draw circles and arrows to show an inequality. Now I'll show you what I mean in a second. And so you've got a number line. So, you know, it goes, I don't know if this will reflect in the actual video, but when you go left, that's going to go more negative. When you go right, that's going to go more positive. So if the arrow is pointing to the right, that means the inequality will be greater than or equal to. If the arrow is to the left, it will be less than or equal to. So there'll normally be a circle around a number. So for example, if it was 3, little circle around 3, and if it was to the right, it will be greater than, and if it's to the left, it will be less than. Okay, and then the circle around the number tells you whether you add that equal to sign or not. If it's blank, if it's not shaded in, then it's just greater than or less than. But if it is shaded in, then you must add that equal to. That means it could be that number. So a little example then. So we just look at this. Now we know, so first things first, we know that our variable is x. So we're worried about x. So we can start by writing x. And we know that the circle is around minus 2. So it's x and minus 2. Now, what is the inequality symbol? Well, if you look at minus 2, the arrow's going bigger than minus 2. So it's definitely greater than. And do we add the equals? Well, no, because this is white. Yeah, so because it's not shaded in, it's not equals to. If this was shaded in, so if this was coloured in like that, then we would add in the equal sign. But because it's not, we leave it. Okay, so just a few more examples. Again, feel free to pause the video and have a go yourself. Otherwise, we'll do them together. Okay, so the first one, write down the inequalities shown on the number lines below. So the first one, again, we've got x, so we can start with x. Now it's going to the left, so that's going to be less than. And again, the circle is not shaded in, so there's no equal sign, and the number is 3. So that's the first one. So let's just do a little rectangle in that. Okay, B. So again, we've got x. This time the arrow's going to the right, so that's going to be more than. The circle is shaded in, so we're going to add that equal sign. And the number that the circle is on is 1. So this is x is more than equal to 1. Okay, now this next one, we've got two things going on. So we've got the x is between two numbers. So let's start with x, and we're going to put those two numbers in. So the first one is -1, and the second one is 4. Now -1, now we're saying x is somewhere, let's use a highlighter, we're saying x is somewhere here. So that means it's more than this number, and it's less than this number. So it's more than -1, but that's the same as saying -1 is less than x, and it's shaded in because it can be equal, and x is less than 4, and it's not shaded in, so we leave it as less than. Okay, and that's that one. So you can get those kind of two-sided ones where x is almost trapped between two numbers. All right, and then final one. So we want to write down the inequalities shown on the number lines below. Feel free to have a go, but we'll do this together. So A says we want to write x is more than 0. So we're going to find 0, we do a circle. We don't shade it in because it's not got the equal sign. And because it's more than, we're going to do our arrow to the right like that. So that is x is more than 0. The next one is x is less than or equal to 3. So we find 3, circle. Because we've got the equal to bit, we can shade it in. And because it's less than, it's going to go to the left like that. Okay, and then finally, we've got 2 is less than or equal to x is less than 5. So we need to find 2 and 5. Now 2 is less than or equal to x, so we can colour that one in. And x is just less than 5, so we can't colour that one in. And then we just join these two up like that. And there we go. Okay, so that is going over inequality symbols and some number lines questions. We'll be doing more stuff on things like solving inequality soon. But otherwise, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for some more maths videos.